here, folks, but let's start with probably the funniest story we will ever read on this show, folks, and I want to read these quotes so gosh dang much, because this is, let me just read you the clickbait quote, and this isn't even the best clickbait quote that there was, folks. There's another great clickbait, so this article is going to be filled with great quotes, and we're not going to lead any read-ups. I don't care about the lead-ups. I just want to hear the language, the tone. I wanted to see the quotes. That's it. So here we go. This is so funny, folks. Just keep in mind, while we read these quotes, I just need y'all to keep in mind that we just read from Frank Reich earlier this week. Hey, it's not fair to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat. The head coach saying it's not fair to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat. Keep that in mind as we hear from the owner, who we all know, Jim Irsay, is always outspoken. I mean, we know this about the man, yes. So this is great that we get in. This is truly him saying what he feels, because this is what we know Jim Irsay does. But just keep what Frank Reich said in mind. So here we go. The clickbait quote. Colts owner Jim Irsay calls Carson Wentz era a, quote, mistake. Called it a mistake. When was the last time we've got anybody, coach, head coach, player, saying it was a mistake for a player to be there? We never got that. Even Baker Mayfield, the Browns aren't calling it a mistake. They're saying, hey, we want a little bit of an adult, so now they're trying to walk that quote back. Jim Irsay is not going to be able to walk any of these quotes back, because here we go. Clickbait quote number one here says, quote, for us, it was something we had to move away from as a franchise. It was very obvious. And that's what we said. That's what we said over here. But to have this come from the owner's perspective, yeah, we love it. Finally, people talking how it needs to be. I mean, once again, people, for the most part, folks, they say what they have to say. The media, the public, the PR firms, they work for this company, the team's a company, their goal is to make money. So usually, for the most part, folks, guys, owners, coaches, they say what they have to say. Boilerplate, PR written things. And that's, why we take everything with the big old grain of salt. And that's kind of, why we read into some things. Sometimes we read a little bit too much into it, but overall, we still need to read into things, because guys are just saying what they have to say. They have to say that. Frank Reich had to say that. Jim Irsay, though, he owns this team. He doesn't got to say anything. Doesn't really have to say anything here. So him kind of being so blunt about it, this is what we love. This is what we love, because we know it's not all just kind of, what they say. It's not always just, face value, what you say. That's the end all be all. Like Kyler Murray right now. Oh, no, everything's good. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You deleted your whole social media. Everything's not good now, okay? But here we go. Back to these Jim Irsay quotes. Let's click into this article here. And I just want to read what this man is saying about Carson Wentz, because it's all true, folks. I mean, none of this is a lie. None of this is a lie, folks. Is it unfortunate? Yes, it's unfortunate for Carson Wentz. Is somebody going to smack Jim Irsay in defense of Carson Wentz? Maybe, probably. But overall, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Here we go. First quote by Jim Irsay. Says, quote, I think the worst thing you can do is have a mistake and try to keep living with it going forward. Once again, doubling down on the mistake. Carson Wentz was a mistake. Folks, nobody's ever been called a mistake in the NFL. I can't think of one. I can name a few, but I can't think of any actual coaches and owners coming out and saying it was a mistake. Back to the quote, I think the worst thing you can do is have a mistake and try to keep living with it going forward. So this is why we give praise to Jim Irsay. He nipped it in the butt. There's no coming back from this. You lost the complete trust of everybody in the locker room, not just from the coach's perspective, but the player's perspective. You were supposed to be kind of, the beacon of hope. They're a quarterback plug and play away. We've said it for the last 2 years, and we're saying it again heading into this season. The Colts are a plug and play quarterback away from winning it all. Winning it all, not being competitive, not getting to the playoffs, from winning it all. Quarterback plug and play away. Phillip Rivers couldn't get it done. Carson Wentz did worse than that. You must get rid of him. It's unfortunate, but that's how it has to be. It's how it has to be. You couldn't beat the Jaguars the last week of the season just to get in the playoffs. I mean, you won't step it up. If you won't step it up and get it done against the Jags, you're not going to step it up in the Super Bowl, folks. It's just not going to happen. So, another quote here by Jim Irsay saying, quote, For us, it was something we had to move away from as a franchise. It was very obvious. He's saying it's obvious. We said it was obvious. We got Frank Reich saying, oh, it's not fair. Okay, Frank Reich playing the nice game. Okay. You want to do that? That's fine. We don't have any problem with it. We just know that you're lying. That's fine. We know you're lying, but that's fine. If you want to, live and die by the lie, go ahead. But we all know it's a lie. We know it's a lie. Even though you're not saying it, and you can always kind of go back to, oh, I never said that. I never said that. I just never said that. And you correct. You never said that. But you're a liar. You're just a liar. That's fine. Okay, you're a liar at the end of the day. All right, here we go. Next quote. If it was so obvious, folks, Frank Reich's lying. We just have to assume that. Yes? It's not unfair. It's not unfair to use Carson Wentz as a scapegoat. It's not. It's just simply not. Here we go. Next quote by Jim Irsay says, quote, no disrespect to Jacksonville. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I'll disrespect the hell out of Carson Wentz. This is why it's so comical, folks, and we love it. We love it. Here we go. Let's finish the quote. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I mean, okay, we just gotta stop. Read the whole quote. Here we go. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I mean, they're the worst team in the league. You play well and hard for the first quarter or so, and they're looking to go to their locker room and clean it out. I've never seen anything like that in my life. You say, my God, there's something wrong here. It needs to be corrected. I think we feel like we did. My God, there's something wrong here. I don't want to disrespect the Jags, but they're the worst team in the league. My God, there's something wrong here, folks. This is crazy, folks. And the Washington took them. Washington took them. You know how they're all feeling right now hearing what Jim Irsay's saying? They're like, did we get swindled? Did we get swindled? Was everybody kind of, Frank Reich's opinion? Hey, it's not fair. Maybe they were buying into that. The Washington was like, hey, it's not fair to use him as a scapegoat. I'm sure there was other things going on with the Colts that's why they lost. No, it was only solely Carson Wentz. And congratulations, Ron Rivera, who's complaining. Do I have this up? I have it up. Let me see if I can find it quick. Ron Rivera's complaining about let me see. He's complaining about not being taken seriously. Here it is. Ron Rivera said the franchise is, quote, an easy target, and I'm tired of it, but the only way to fix it is to win. Well, good luck. If you're tired of it, if you're tired of everybody kind of knocking Washington because it's a, quote, unquote, an easy target, which it is because you're not winning, especially since taking a step back from 2020 to 2021, defensively, offensively, yeah, they are an easy target, but Ron Rivera's sick of it, and the only way to kind of move past it is to win. Well, Carson Wentz isn't a winner. They lost against the worst team in the league. This is too funny, folks. I love it. Jim Irsay, thank you. Thank you for being the person you are for the most part. Some things, yeah, you definitely got to clean up. But for this part, thank you for being blunt and saying what everybody is thinking. Thank you. Thank you. We don't get boilerplate PR written answers anymore. We're getting it how it is. Sometimes we all have to hear how it is. Sometimes and a little bit respectively, but overall, yeah. So, man, oh man, my God, there's something wrong here. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've never seen anything as bad as what Carson Wentz just did in my life. My God, there's something wrong here. This is funny, and there's more, folks. That's not even the one I'm talking about. There's one more that just goes brutal on the man, and that's not even it. Let's keep it going. Next quote. Quote, your guy's got to pick up and carry you through Jacksonville. He has to do it. Not an option. He has to. No excuses. No explanations. Your guy's got to pick up and carry you through Jacksonville. He has to do it. Not an option. Has to. No excuses. No explanations. Exactly that. We're talking about the Jaguars. The Jaguars, the whole Urban Meyer thing, the whole freshman quarterback thing. You had to get it done against that team, and you did it. There is no excuses. Like we said, there is no excuses from that time. Ever since that next Monday, because we saw it on Sunday, it happened. Ever since that Monday, we were here saying it's unexcusable. You need to move off of him. And finally, the owner of the team is saying the same exact things because he's had enough of the boilerplate PR responses from Frank Reich and everybody in the Colts saying like, oh, it just didn't work out. We all deserve the blame. Blah, blah. No, Jim Irsay's not taking any blame here for Carson Wentz's inaction, garbageness, if you will. What else do we get? Another quote, you search for the right chemistry with any team. In football, it's as important as any sport that there is. If that chemistry is off, if it isn't there, it could be extremely detrimental in lower performance to a degree that is stunning and shocking. And that's exactly it. That's why you have to get rid of Carson Wentz. He wasn't even a leader in the locker room. We're hearing that now. Everybody kind of coming out and be like, yeah, the man didn't even care. He'd lose a game and be like, all right, let's go hunting. Let's go fishing. That's Carson Wentz, not a leader. That's why we preach leadership, folks. Yes. And once again, that chemistry needs to be right, and every Colts player, whether they say it out loud or not say it at all, whether they go the Jim Irsay route or the Frank Reich route, they know they cannot believe in Carson Wentz to get them over the finish line, to put it all on the line, to go to bat for these players. They know Carson Wentz can't do it, so the team chemistry, the locker room is broken. For how long you keep Carson Wentz in the locker room. Luckily, the Colts smartened up and cut this man pretty quickly, pretty swiftly. Thank you. Here we go. Next quote. What do we got? All right, Jim Irsay had a quote. For us, the fit just wasn't right. I don't know why. A lot of times you don't know why, but you know it isn't. And it was important for us to move in a different direction. And Jim Irsay just says, yeah, we don't know why, it just wasn't. And that's fine. I think that's a fine excuse or just fine kind of answer to say, hey, we brought him in. Everything was looking good. The roster was right. He's a little bit of a proven quarterback of what we've seen his entire body of work, and we just brought him together, and it just didn't work. We don't understand why. We got Frank Reich. He's a little bit of proven. Y'all love Frank Reich in the media. We have T.Y. Hilton. Y'all love T.Y. Hilton. Y'all kind of say, he's kind of, top receiver to ever do it. Not number one, obviously, but, top 20. Y'all put T.Y. Hilton in top 20? Top 10, I think, is a stretch. I would say stretch. But top 20? Y'all put him in top 20? Let me know. But yeah, overall, we've got the talent here. We've got the pieces. It just didn't work. I don't know why, but we've got to move on. There's no running this back. There's absolutely no running this back. It's not going to get better. The trust, the competitive, everything is broken. It's done. What else do we get? Any more quotes? We get one more. Let it be great. Let it be great. Let it be great. What do we got? What are you going to end us on? What are you going to send us away with, Jim Irsay? Last final quote. Here we go. Quote, I think it was really quite remarkable. And okay, we might have to read a lead up to this one. Here we go. In the end, Indy found a taker for Wentz. They suckered him. In the end, they found a sucker for Carson Wentz and somehow convinced Washington to send a third-round pick and an extra conditional third-round pick back for a quarterback that the Colts seemed likely to cut. Jim Irsay says, quote, I think it was really quite remarkable and a great tribute to Chris to generate strong trade interest and get the deal done with Washington. I don't lose the fact that it was a pretty big blessing from the football gods where we were and where we could be if things don't materialize to that level. You end up cutting Carson and we get nothing. So Jim Irsay basically praising the swindle that Chris did for the trade to get something in return, third round picks, something in return for Carson Wentz. So man, oh man, Jim Irsay calling it like it is. You had to move off of Carson Wentz. He's never seen anything like it. It's broken. The Jags are the worst team in the league, and your quarterback could not get it done. Jim Irsay calling it like it is. calls it like it is on Carson Wentz, and I absolutely love everything about it. We've been saying the exact same things here, folks. The owner agrees. We're vindicated. Bingo, bango. You must have moved off of Carson Wentz, and now he's Washington's problem. And if I'm a Washington fan and I'm reading this, I am livid. I am steaming. I am boiling inside of what my franchise just did. Y'all want to knock Tua? Y'all want to knock Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, let's knock Carson Wentz, because owners are doing it, where we never gotten an owner knocking any other quarterback in, I don't think, in NFL history. I'm trying to recall. If I'm not thinking of one, please let me know, but I don't think we've ever gotten this type of statement from any owner, any head coach in the league about a quarterback. So, oh my goodness, how great was that, folks? How absolutely great was that? Man, oh man.